You see some more of those worms in the top left corner.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I don't see much of a shimmer there. Scan up a little bit here. Some more up here.
That's an interesting green patch that's going from upper right to lower left.
Yeah.
That's funny. It looks
It's
orange
green,
to me.
yeah,
I think it
it's
depends
green.
on what you're looking at. But it looks very much like another area where there's probably just a very little bit of diffuse flow.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see a
So
little.
it's amazing how these animals and microbes can live on just a tiny bit of diffuse flow.
All right. Thanks, video.
They're going to
Become
colonize
partial
any
again.
area that they possibly can.
And
Come out.
even
You
though
can
we're
come
only
out to
getting,
partial again.
5
Okay.
centimeter
Thanks.
changes,
There.
in 5 centimeter, 5 degrees
Sorry.
Celsius changes
No, you're
in
That was both partial.
temperature, it's likely that the
Yeah.
further you
Oh, that wasn't
permeate
all the way
That
into
wasn't
that
all the way,
sediment,
yeah.
Sorry.
the hotter it will be.
Well,
And so many of those tube worms may extend
don't want the
quite
skids, and I
far
wanna
down to the
get a little
sediment,
closer
up
look as we
to
go as well.
20
Sure.
centimeters
without
sometimes
having to
down to the
actually
sediment, and it will be
fly too low,
much, much
knocking anything
hotter
over.
Sure.
down there, and they'll be able to get
Let me
easier
zoom out a bit
access
real
to a
quick.
lot of that
Okay.
diffuse
And I'm
flow.
going to just
I'm
cut
not
the
sure
skids
that I
out
would
and
characterize
let me know
this
if you wanna
area
go
as
in
one
more.
that would be much, much hotter.
Okay, but still like a couple of degrees hotter.
Maybe. I don't know that we know. But, I mean, this area I wouldn't necessarily be quite so quick to say that it would be much hotter. This is very interesting. Look at all this morphology. So I don't think we've actually really talked about the sulfides that make up these chimneys at all today, other than a quick description of how hydrothermal vent chimneys form. Patty, are you still on the line?
I'm here.
You want to talk a little bit about how hydrothermal vent chimneys, not how they form, but the metals that the different sulfides, the zinc sulfide, iron sulfide, et cetera, that make up a hydrothermal vent chimney?
Well, one thing I can say is that, the higher the temperature, the more iron sulfide rich. So in some of the chimneys that we've seen on the active arc volcanoes a little north from here, we've found pyrite, which is iron sulfide, on the hotter chimneys, and chalcopyrite, which is a copper iron sulfide, on the less hot chimneys. I really don't have any idea what the composition of this material is, but fortunately, one of our Japanese colleagues did some dredging in this area. I don't know if he got samples from this caldera, but we can contact him at JAMTech and find out if there are samples there that we might be able to answer some of those questions in detail, maybe in a couple days, even before the end of the cruise, if he still has any of that information.
That would be awesome.
I can make a few comments.
Okay, great.
So the most important control on metal composition is temperature of the fluid. So low temperature fluids tend to be dominated by lead and zinc. You get these lead zinc sphalerite chimneys like we see at East Diamante. And you at higher temperature you get more copper. So the most important control on fluid temperature is depth, and that's because of water pressure. The higher the water pressure, the higher the boiling temperature. So you can't have any temperature exceeding boiling. So in shallow systems like East Diamante, you never get more than 200 degrees at the most. And in a system like this at 2,500 meters, you can get pretty damn hot. You can get mid-ocean ridge temperatures. So I'll bet you these are pretty copper rich.
Awesome. Thanks, Bob. Yeah, and so from my experience, most of the hydrothermal vents that I've seen are high temperature
Navigator, we're
black
pretty much
smokers. Oh,
settled
look,
out
there's
here.
a crack right there.
What's that?
We're pretty much settled out here.
Yeah, you'll probably be settling out right now.
Okay.
And as Bob said, with a hydrothermal vent, with the high temperature hydrothermal vent smokers, you really do. You see a lot of lead sulfides, you see zinc sulfide, you see pyrite and chalcopyrite.
Getting pretty
And
close to
they're
the end
often
of the
quite
dive.
beautiful when you
Navigator.
open
10
them
minutes.
up. They sparkle like gold. And there often are trace amounts of precious metals as well. A very small amount disseminated within the matrix of the other metals.
So these kinds of deposits are well known in industry. So places
I can give you a little more, Jeff.
Okay.
these kinds of deposits. They're
I'll take
called-
it.
They
We're gonna
mine
just
them in ancient
Stretch to the
rocks.
end
So
here and
Indian
then pick up
Shield,
from there, I assume.
South Africa, Australia. These are called volcanogenic massive
It's
sulfides.
a cool crack.
And this is the kind of environment in which they form, deep on the seafloor, associated with arc volcanism, like we see in Pina Naga.
So I'd just like to remind everybody we have a little less than 20 minutes left
Sorry,
in
just
our
bumped the
dive.
stick there.
10
That's
minutes.
okay.
Zoom back in.
Yep.
About 10 minutes left in our dive. And so I think we're just going to do a bit more flying around, just taking in this incredible site where we've seen diffuse venting, lots of interesting biology and geology, and some incredible, what we
About as
thought were.
comfortable.
I mean, I guess
Yeah.
they still
Low
are
as
the
I
ones
wanna
on the
go.
other mound. There's still extinct chimneys.
And I think we're
And
back
they're still
around.
incredible.
Yeah, no, but I was
Huge crack.
Yeah, they were definitely extinct. There's
some
nothing live over there.
absolutely incredible extinct chimneys
Yeah.
towards the beginning of this dive. If you missed that,
Go back.
definitely go back to the replay. 'Cause
I agree.
It is just phenomenal.
They're just beautiful, and actually, I would definitely follow along with the Okeanos Explorer website, where there will be some really beautiful imagery
Off is
of
where it gets a little more plain again.
Of Sirius
This
taking
is about where
pictures
Josh
of
came
the
around.
D2ROV,
Like a day old.
taking
Just
pictures
barely missed it.
of the chimneys because they were just great.
We'll back off. And
So we're using our last 10 minutes or so to just wander around here. Doesn't look like it looks like we might have wandered out of
Yep.
most of the hydrothermal activity. There's a little bit left.
I'm coming back. This is we've just about met
Made a
nose to
circle?
nose where
Yeah.
Josh has. We've done a full. So I'm just going to come back into Sirius's realm,
Okay.
and where we saw the hydrothermal venting, and
Okay.
then at that point I can just kind of peek down the slope a little ways,
That would be great. Thanks a lot.
and we can do a last bit of exploring.
So this
Oops,
really
that's the
also
wrong way.
shows
I'm
you
adding
just
a turn.
how sometimes it's luck that allows you to find something on the seafloor. We were here, maybe about 2 hours ago on the rim looking around, and we looked in one direction and followed around for probably 3/4 of the way and didn't see anything. So we stopped. If we had turned in the other direction, we probably would have immediately found hydrothermal vent evidence. And that's the nature of exploration. Sometimes you find stuff, and unfortunately, sometimes you turn in the wrong
Can I
direction.
zoom in on Sirius Copilot?
But luckily, we found our way back to this
Be a
today.
good one. Nice. That's cool.
Holding
Those
here.
big cracks in the
Ooh,
dome
nice
there,
shot, Dan.
can you look at them a little more closely?
We certainly can. Coming down a little. To which direction do you see the big cracks?
So scientists on shore, we're going to have our...
Seems like a small crack and then a big crack.
Where do you see
So
them? Just, sorry, he's asking to see a crack, and I don't think he can hear me. I don't know where he's looking for them.
You can go bring,
Yeah, I'm not sure what
bring it out.
Bob's
Dan.
zoom it
referring
out.
to.
Thanks.
But scientists on shore, Jeff,
It's
just
full
keep
wide for you.
moseying around.
Okay.
You're at
Scientists
the
on
edge
shore,
of
we're
your
going to
tether.
have our science
Back.
call straight after the dive. Let's say 5 minutes after we leave bottom, so people can get a drink of water and other things. So that should be in about. We're going to leave bottom quite soon. So that should be, yeah. Just don't go anywhere.
Can you look at that crack there on the left?
I think he means over the ridge, Jeff. Over this little bump that you're seeing.
Okay. We'll go over the bump and see what we see. You can come up as I come closer.
Yeah.
Continuing. Oh, way out there?
Yeah, I've got a bit of a lag perhaps, but it's over on the left side.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
I think he's watching a really delayed feed, Jeff.
That would
Might have been the ones you
be-
were looking at.
That would add confusion. I did look closely at two
Yeah.
large cracks earlier.
I think
People
that's
wanna
maybe what.
Maybe be able to scan back.
Bob, maybe try refreshing your feed. I'm not sure. I think you may be watching a delayed feed.
I'm looking for a crack.
Dan, if you wanted to zoom, you can if you want, but
Yeah.
I'm comfortable.
I'll keep it full.
Okay.
It's a cool shot. Thanks to
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to keep going along here. Just get a shot of this stuff. Oh, there's a crack. A crack or discoloring? Or both? Crack with discoloring. Want to come in partial? Or come in a little more, I mean?
Sure. Zooming in.
Yep. Let's take a quick look at this. See if
I'll
there's
hold
any-
here.
Yep. Interest. Yeah. Okay. I don't see any shimmering or anything like that. Alright, we can come back out.
Zooming out.
Thanks. Alright, I'll just keep hunting around. We're almost at the end of time.
Please do. We're just having a good time in our last few minutes of the dive, just wandering around and
So, pilots, we have
checking out events.
we have about 5 minutes to the 10-minute mark when you want to start getting ready.
We're almost there. He's just got to bring my swing arms in. So.
Is that a holothurian?
Ooh,
Okay, then we
there's a
gotta-
holothurian.
got a
fractures
little
of
longer.
the stones that I didn't see in the first one.
What's that?
That's true. There were a
I said
couple
then we
of
have a
big
little
fractures.
longer. I was just told to make sure that you guys had at least 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
This one is less a fracture than I think just some,
Strange to me is there are some cracks that have the yellow staining from hydrothermal stuff, and some just don't.
yes.
Odd.
I agree, Patty. Especially that large fracture that we passed by a few minutes ago. That one didn't appear to have any hydrothermal staining at all.
So some of these cracks might be flows coming through them. Some of them might just be things collapsing or something.
Absolutely. Exactly.
All right. Do you want to come in a little tighter on this matted
Zooming in.
area and see if we
Is
see
there
any
something? Is
flow?
that something white above that? Is that
Yeah, there's a
biology?
holothurian. I always gotta scan up to that as a little trick.
Holding
Like,
here.
here's some flow.
Oh, there's some
and
those
here's
little wormy
holothurian.
things again. I think.
Yeah. Thanks, video. I'm just gonna.
Yep. More of
There
those
you
little
go.
worms.
What? There you go. You see?
I thought I saw. Yeah, some shimmering right there by
yeah, maybe.
the guys
Could be an effector.
Oh yeah.
above and below them.
You see?
Mm-hmm. I'll show. If you go up a little bit, the laser's almost on them.
So we found a little more diffuse flow.
See right on the top of
some
those.
more of those
Oh,
worms.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
are those worms or are those worms casings? I'm a little confused. You're not on.
the sign of a worm?
So this is basically the tube of the worm.
Right,
And
okay.
there's probably an
Oh, so then the
individual
worm
in
would
it.
come out and do that, right?
Well, we're not sure what types of worms they are.
okay. So there are some I've seen at hydrothermal vents
Yeah.
where they stick themselves out and then they
Exactly.
sort of wiggle around like they have like little feathers on
Yes.
their
Right up to the
exactly.
holothurian.
So
real
some
quick.
That's
do
the technical
that.
term, little feathers.
But we are not quite sure what kind they are. So we're not really sure what kind of behavior to expect.
Got it.
But that is the tube, and they're inside of that, if these are alive.
Got it.
Which I think they are.
Thank you.
And
I've put out my
Holothurian
feelers
right
to
there.
various polychetologists around the world. So
Go.
hopefully, I know most of them are in Europe, and it's the early morning there. So
much down.
most of them should get back to me in the next hour or so.
Come in a little closer video, and then we can get it.
Sure.
Okay. All right, I'm ready.
Zooming in.
Zoom. Yep.
Holding
So
here.
I think this is a Hansenothuria again.
Ooh, yeah, that looks nice.
We've seen, I think, 2 of these during this dive, but always great to see another.
All right, video. I'm ready when you are.
Okay, zooming out. All right. Well, then you
It's
have
full what?
10 minutes right now. 10-minute mark till you want to be coming up.
Excellent.
So this has just really been a really great, very interesting dive, very varied.
I'm actually gonna
And
drive
surprising.
under
And
you
surprising,
and back.
yeah, I agree.
Keep it all in view for that.
while we haven't found
Basically
what,
set up.
we haven't found the super big high temperature black smokers.
Once I get pretty
we
much
still
under, you
have
can
seen
start
some
playing
really
with the
exciting stuff.
swing arms, stowing the swing arms.
Excellent.
So science base, as
I want to get those skids out.
Diva mentioned,
Video,
we're just going to have a
please.
science meeting
Sorry,
right
can you repeat?
after we
Can you
come
zoom
off the
past the
bottom.
skids?
Yep. Going in.
Thanks.
For the rest of you, I hope you've really enjoyed this dive. We certainly have, and we look forward to having you follow along with us again.
Just face your heading along with the ship. There. Nice. Thanks. That's a really dark spot there, isn't it? That's crazy looking. I wonder what that was.
Maxed out on Zeus.
Thanks. Hey, video, this is a really, really dark thing. Can you just take a quick snap in on it?
Sure.
See if it's one thing or just matting again?
Zoom
Come
in.
on in. Yeah, thanks. To the left of the
Holding here.
limbs a little there.
Ooh, that's a big clump.
Yeah. There's also, oh, it's just matting on a pointy rock. I got excited over nothing. All right, thanks.
Okay, zooming out.
Sorry, I thought maybe it was a fish. It looked fish-like at first. Continuing on.
Skids out.
Thanks. Continuing along. Okay.
So hopefully, over the next few dives during this leg one of the
Call it
Marianas expedition, we'll be seeing some active hydrothermal vents, or so we hope at least.
Let's put
And
us
so
some
we'll be able
hydraulics.
to contrast,
Okay.
these sort of waning environments or extinct
He's
environments
going to start spinning
with
up and then...
those that are extremely active, and you'll be able to
he's going
see
to start
how
putting away.
similar and
As
different
soon as
the
you start coming up,
geology
I'll
can
switch
be,
to it.
and
all the way-
also
Let the
how
bridge know.
different the biology will be, because it will be
Starboard.
drastically different if we do
All the
find
way right.
active hydrothermal vents later on.
Then stow.
And then left, yeah.
All right. Okay, off we go
All right, we are headed up.
to the wild blue.
Thank you, pilots.
Thank
you
you
guys did
very,
a
very much,
fantastic job
pilots.
today.
Yeah,
as
brilliant
usual,
job.
every day. But man,
And
this
Jeff,
was awesome.
you can come rendezvous by the ROV when we get that
Squashed
further,
that sample.
yeah, that
It's
whatever
not
it is
squashed.
on board.
Starboard.
Starboard has to go all the way right, port all the way left.
And so,
And you can
onshore
see 'em. Check 'em
scientists,
out right
if
here.
you
I
want to
did.
take 5 minutes now, get
Yeah.
some water, and we will meet back here then to discuss plans for tomorrow.
All right, pushing out.
Okay.